Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Okay, today we shall conduct practicals. Now I shall share my screen. So, this is the first chapter, data, its source and compilation. Okay, and today we shall discuss about the theoretical part of the practical work. Okay, so we shall discuss about what a data is, what is information, why do we need data, and about presentation of data, then different sources of data. So now let us read. Okay, so today is date 27/8/2021. So here definition of data and information is given here. Okay, see, data are defined as numbers that represent measurement from the real world. For example, 20 centimeters. Okay, 20 centimeters of continuous rain in Burma. That is 20 centimeter of rainfall. So this numerical information is called data. Say for example, say height of a place. For example, okay, height of a place. Say for example, here, let us say height of a place is 2,300 meter above the sea level. So this is another example of data. Okay. So data means uh, numbers that represent measurements from the real world. Okay, numbers that represent measurements from the real world. So in this case, 20 centimeters of rainfall is an example of data. Likewise, we have a temperature data, for example, 25 degrees Celsius of a place, for example, place V, then height of a place. So all these are examples of data because this represents measurements, okay, measurements from the real world. And this numerical information is called data. Maybe height, maybe a length, or maybe temperature condition, or maybe slope, okay, in the form of angle or percentage, or maybe temperature. All these are examples of data. And datum is a single measurement. Okay, datum, so this is the singular form. Okay, yeah, see, when we discuss about this grammar, so we have numbers, okay, singular form, then plural form, like this. So datum is a single measurement. Okay, and next we have information. So what do you mean by information? Information is defined as either a meaningful answer to a query or a meaningful stimulus that can cascade into further queries. So information is defined as either a meaningful answer to a query, to a question, okay, or a meaningful stimulus that can cascade into further queries. Say for example, here, uh, let us say here we have a mountain range, and say when we climb up, okay, at the top of the mountain, so we feel cool here. Then we may ask a question: Why is the top of this mountain cold? Why do we feel cold on the top of the mountain? So this is the query, this is the question, okay? And so you'll get answers like, so on the top of the mountain, here air is rarefied, the density of the air is less, okay, lesser than the plain areas. Then here air is very clean, okay, little water vapor is present or less, okay, amount of water vapor is present, then less quantity of or amount of dust particles are present. So many factors are there. So the answer to this question is what we call information, okay? First you have to ask a question, okay, and after that you will get the answer. And that answer is what we call information. Okay, see here. Information is defined as either a meaningful answer to a query or a meaningful stimulus that can cascade into further queries. Are you clear, boys and girls? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next we have need for data. Okay, why do we need data in geographical analysis? So here we have given some reasons. Let us read. Okay, an interrelationship exists between many phenomena over the surface of the earth. So on the surface of the earth we find many phenomena. Okay, we find living components as well as non-living components. We find growing of trees. Okay, we find mountains, peaks, plateau. We find sunshine, rainfall, so many things. Okay, and we find living components also. We find these animals, human beings, organisms. Okay, so there is an interrelationship between the many phenomena found on the surface of the earth. We find some interrelationship between the living components and the non-living components, and these interactions are influenced by many variables. Okay, the interrelationship is influenced by many factors which can be explained best in quantitative terms. So this interrelationship can be expressed by best, okay, can be explained best in quantitative terms, and the statistical analysis of these variables become a necessity today. Okay, then for example, see here we have an example. For example, the study to study cropping pattern of an area, it is necessary to have statistical information about the crop area, about the growing area, then crop yield, that is the productivity. How many kgs of paddy are produced per hectare of land, for example. Okay, that kind of data is needed. Then irrigated area, how many hectares of land are irrigated, what is the amount rainfall received there, and what is the amount of fertilizer, insecticide, pesticide used in the field. So all these data are required, okay, to analyze, to study the cropping pattern of an area, and that is why we need data, okay, say for the geographical analysis. Similarly, data related to the total population, then density, number of migrants, occupation of people, their salaries, industries, means of transportation and communication is needed to study the growth of a city. Okay, if you want to study about the morphology, about the growth of a city, then again we need data. We need to collect data about the population of the city, about the density of the city, then number of migrants, okay, inhabited in the city, then occupation of the people, salaries, industries, and so on. Okay, so in this way, to analyze any geographical phenomena or to analyze interrelationship between two phenomena, we need data, okay, for analysis. Thus data plays an important role in geographical analysis. So this lines explains the need for data. So in the previous case also, for example, here in this case also we ask a question. Okay, we ask a question here. Say when we climb up the mountain, then we feel cold. Then we ask a question. And to find the answer, so we need to collect data. So what is the height? What is the altitude of this mountain? What is the temperature condition here? And we need to measure the amount of relative humidity, the amount of water vapor present in the air. Okay, and we need to find the pressure condition. So to find out the answer of your question, so we need to collect data, and after analyzing the data you will get your answer. So in this way, okay, in this way we need data to find our answer for geographical analysis. For example, in this case, let us say this is the height of the mountain, then what is the temperature, then what is the amount, say for example 75 like that percent, okay, so on. So we need to collect data, and after analyzing the data then you will get the answer. So that is why we need data in geographical analysis to find our answer. Okay, are you clear, girls and boys? Any
Yes, sir.
Next, we have presentation of data. Actually, here the data collected from the field are raw data, and when we collect the data, and we cannot present those data in a raw form. Okay, so we need some kind of presentation. We need to present in the form of tables. We need to present in the form of diagrams, or in the form of averages or deviations. Okay, that is what I call presentation of data. Say for example, you have conducted a survey, a census survey in a village. Then you may be asking so many questions from the households about the number of females, about the number of males, then about education. Okay, so many data you might have collected, but you cannot present those raw data in your report. So we need to present, okay, in a correct form, in a proper way. Like you need to tabulate the data, as I told you. You need to analyze the data. Okay, so let us read. So it is important to collect data to know the facts and the figures, but equally important is the presentation of data. Okay, collection of data is very important to know the facts and the figure, to know the relationship among the phenomena. But equally important is the presentation of data. And the use of statistical methods in analysis and presentation and in drawing conclusion plays a significant role in geography, which uses the data. As I told you, we need to present the data, okay, in different ways. Okay, after analyzing the data also, so we can put the data, we can represent the data in diagrammatic forms also. We can also present in the form of averages and so on. Okay, and it may be referred that concentration of phenomena, for example population, forest, or network of transportation, not only vary over space and time, but may also be conveniently explained using data. See, concentration of something, okay, concentration of any phenomenon, for example concentration of population density, for example, then network of transportation. So all these vary from one place to another place. Population density also varies from one place to another place, and from time to time also. Density of population 20 years back totally different from the density of population, okay, now. So in this way we find variations in any phenomenon. Okay, and all these variations can be explained. Okay, all these variations from place to place and from time to time can be explained clearly using this data, okay, presenting in a proper way. And hence precise quantitative techniques are used right from the beginning of collecting and compiling data to its tabulation, organization, ordering, and analysis till the derivation of conclusions. So that is why accurate quantitative techniques, precise quantitative techniques means formulas. Okay, the correct precise formulas are to be used. Okay, for tabulating, then for organizing, for ordering, then for analyzing till the derivation of the conclusion. So in this case, what was the question? So in this case, the question was, why do we feel cold on the top of the mountain? So to find your answer or to derive your conclusion, okay, we need a lot of these statistical analysis or different quantitative techniques. Okay, so that is the point mentioned here. Till the derivation of the conclusion, we need this presentation and the analysis of data in the correct form. Any question, boys and girls? Okay, then next we have sources of data. So data are collected through the following ways. These are primary sources and secondary sources. Okay, we can collect in these two ways. And so what are the primary sources? The data which are collected for the first time by any individual or group of individual, institution, organization are called primary sources of data. Okay, so the data which are collected for the first time here, the data which are collected for the first time by an individual or group of individual or institution or organization is called are called primary sources of data. Then what are the secondary sources? The data collected from any published or unpublished sources are called secondary sources. Say for example, you are visiting a village. Okay, you are visiting a village and you are collecting some information from the village. So you are taking an interview of a household of a household. Okay, you may be asking, you may be collecting some information as I told you, that the number of family members, then how many males, how many females. So that way of collecting data is known as primary. Okay, primary sources. And another way, that is for example, the another method is that for collecting population of any village, you may go to census operation. Okay, office of the census operation located in every state, in the capital city maybe. So you may visit the office, okay, the directorate of census operation, and you may collect population data of your village from the office. And that kind of source of data is known as secondary sources. Okay, if you are collecting your data from the published or unpublished sources, from the government offices, from the NGOs, from the quasi-government organizations, okay, are called secondary sources. Whereas if you are collecting the data, okay, from the field directly by you or by your friend, with your friends, that is known as primary sources. Next we have sources of primary data. The first one, we have personal observations. Okay, see, it refers to the collection information by an individual. Personal observation means collection information by an individual or group of individuals through direct observation in the field. Through a field survey, information about relief features, information about landforms, about the drainage pattern, okay, about the types of soil, then natural vegetation can be collected. say simply by visiting a place. Okay, so you can observe the field, what type of landform is there, whether the area, the region is a mountainous region or a plain area or a coastal area. So by observation you can collect information. And about drainage patterns also, what kind of pattern is there, dendritic, rectangular, by observing you can identify. And so you can also collect information about the types of soil, about the natural vegetation types, just by visiting the field. Okay, that is what I call personal observation. This is very important, okay, as a student of geography. So another method of collecting this primary data is interview method. Okay, so in this method the researcher gets direct information from the respondent through dialogues and a conversation. As I told you, you need to ask questions, okay, to an individual. So you need to visit a village or a city, then you have to go to a house. Okay, you have to visit a house, and there you may ask question, okay, to those individuals, to those household members. And in that way you can collect data and information. That is what we call interview method. The next method is the questionnaire and the schedule. Okay, questionnaire, can you tell me what questionnaire is? I think you might have learned in economics classes also.
A person who asks, goes around and asks questions on behalf of the surveyor.
Yes. Yes. It is a set of question. Okay, it is a set of question used in the surveying, I mean in the survey. When we conduct a survey, so we need to carry a set of question, and that set of question is known as schedule. Okay, and when it is sent uh, through mail, or okay, that is known as questionnaire. Now let us see. So questionnaire method, so in this method simple questions and their possible answers are written and on a plain paper, and the respondents have to tick mark the possible answers from the given choices. And at times a set of structured questions are written and a sufficient space is provided in the questionnaire where the respondent write the opinion. Okay, just we have some examples here. Actually, here, so this is an example of questionnaire. Okay, just an example. See here, I think you may be seeing different sections, and the questions are here, and the probable answers also given, and we need to put tick marks here. Okay, and here we have other format. Okay, so this is a rice survey questionnaire, and here, okay, part 1 is there, 2 is there, question is here, what is your gender, for example, male, female, so we need to put tick mark in the box. Okay, so this is another example, another format, and we have one more format here also. Okay, see here, instructions also given here. Please answer this question by putting a tick in the appropriate box for each question, and please answer all the questions whether you have had a stroke or not. Okay, just this is the set of question. Okay, so we can answer, answer the questions by putting tick marks here. For example, in this case, for example, what is your gender? Say for example, for me, male. In this way we can put tick marks. In which group you belong to? Say for example, 40 to 50 years. So in this way we can answer the question. And after completing this questionnaire, then we have to send this questionnaire back, okay, to the research person. See, uh, actually questionnaire and the schedule, these are the same thing. These are sets of question. The only difference is that in case of questionnaire, say when it is sent, okay, for example, you have a friend in Delhi and you need some information from him. So you have to write a letter, okay, telling your objectives of your project or research work. Then with the letter, you have to attach your questionnaire, and your friend will fill up the questionnaire. Then you may supply a blank envelope, and in that blank envelope, then your friend will send back the answer. So that is what I call questionnaire. And for the schedule, actually this is also the same thing, but in the schedule we need to do this one interview method. So you have to carry the set of questions with you, and you will ask the question to an individual, and that individual you will answer your question, and you will fill up the answer by yourself. Okay, as given here, see, schedule in this method, a properly trained enumerator himself herself fills up the answers by asking question addressed to the respondent. So for example, in this case, say in this case, so for example, you are the interviewer, okay? Then you are asking this question or this personal information by seeing, by observing also you can just put tick mark. But for the second question, for example, which of the following age group do you belong to? So you will ask the question to the individual, and he may respond, okay, that 20 to 30 years. So in this case, yourself, you okay, yourself have to put a tick mark here, not by the respondent, okay, not by the respondent. You have to write the answers by yourself, not by the respondent. So in the case of questionnaire, the respondent himself or herself answers the question after reading the question, okay. So here we have some merits and demerits. Just see here for the questionnaire, what are the merits, advantages. So this method is useful in carrying out survey of a larger area. For example, if you want to conduct a sample survey for the whole India, then you can use this questionnaire method. You may send some questionnaires to your friends studying, okay, living in Delhi, some of your friends in Mumbai, some of your friends in Chennai, like that. Okay, you may send the questionnaires to your friends located, inhabited in different parts of India. So this method is useful in carrying out a larger area. So another advantage is that questionnaire can be mailed to far-flung places, even your friends living in USA also. Okay, you can send your questionnaire. So these are the merits, these are the advantages. And about the demerits, see here, the limitation of this method is that only literate and educated people can be approached to provide the required information. So in this case, only literate and educated person, okay, can fill up the answers of your question. And if you want to collect some information from the illiterate people, then this is not possible. That will be possible only when, okay, you conduct an interview to an illiterate person using schedule, okay, using that set of questionnaire, I mean that set of question. And about the merit of schedule, the main advantage of schedule over questionnaire is that information from both literate and illiterate respondents can be collected. So this is the main advantage. Okay, so in the case of schedule method, we can collect data and information both from the educated and the uneducated persons. Whereas for the questionnaire method, we can collect data and information only from the educated persons. So these are the main differences. Okay. And last but not the least, we have other important methods of collecting data. Say the data about properties of soil, then water are collected directly in the field by measuring their characteristics using soil kit or water quality kit. Similarly, field scientists collect data about the health of crops and vegetation using transducers. Okay, using different kits and devices, we can also collect data and information from the field. Okay, say for example, this is an example of this soil test kit. Okay, using this soil test kit, we can collect information about the soil from the field. Okay, and we have some more okay examples. So this is another kit. Okay, say for example, if you want to test know the pH value of the soil, color codes are here, and using the paper, litmus paper or other papers, okay, testing kits, and comparing with these color codes, then you can identify okay the nitrogen contain, potash contain, potash okay, then phosphorus contain, or the pH value. And so this is another one. Okay, this is another one, soil testing kit. And water quality testing kit, it is also like this. Okay, so about the content of chemicals, about the content of these uh, iron for example, okay, then lead, then about the pH value. Using this kit, we can collect data and information from the field. So these are the other methods of collecting data and information. Okay, so are you clear? Any question, boys and girls?
No, sir. Yes.
Okay then, and about the practical notebook,
Yes,
when it
sir.
is available, we shall inform you. And remember, in the month of November, December, we have term 1 test, which will be conducted by CBSE. And not only the theory uh, papers, okay, practicals also will be conducted, but the full marks will be only 15 marks. Okay, so we shall inform you when the time comes. And for today, thank you very much for joining my class. Thank you all.